What is up, YouTube? It is Dukes here with another video in my series of how to get 3 stars in domination mode, and this one is on defense. So before I get into the different defenses that you can use, what I first want to talk about is one way that people play defense on here, which I'm not going to do. I'm just not a fan of it, but I wanted to let you know about it. And this method is to basically foul every time the CPU comes down the court. So intentionally foul every time the computer comes down the court. I've never tried it. It's not something that I really want to try, because when I play domination mode, even though I want to get 3 stars, I also want to win. So that's not really my style. And as we get into this, I'm going to show you 3 different defensive sets that I have used. One of them is the half-court trap. The second one is the 1-3-1 zone. And the third one is the basics. It's man-to-man. So in the half-court trap, as you can see over with LeBron, he's getting double teamed, and that's basically what the half-court trap is. What I do is I play as either the 4 or I play as the 5. So right here I'm playing as the center, Muhammad. Now LeBron James is getting double teams, and what I basically do is I cover as much space as I can. I cover multiple people. You see he's getting double teamed over there. Dwayne Wade is with Terrence Ross and Mills. So I'm basically lurking between Chris Bosh and Mario Chalmers to make sure that neither of them have an open shot if they get the ball. And see, I'm still lurking between these two as everybody shifts, as the trap shifts. I'm in between Chalmers and Bosh there. It gets passed over to Chris Bosh, and I'm ready for it. Now I want to show you right here, before we go into some more of these defensive sets, what I do when it comes to blocking. Right now I am on Mills, so I'm defending it, and then I see Dwayne Wade getting the ball, and real quickly what I do is I switch to the nearest guy, or I basically press X and take who it switches me to. It switches me to Garcia right here. I don't trust the CPU with blocking shots. They don't really go up for shot blocks as much as I would like the CPU to do. So I do a quick switch like you see right here. I switch to Garcia. Wade goes in for the shot and Garcia gets the block. So you need to be able to switch quickly to who might be open for a shot and anticipate those shots so that you can get those blocks, because the CPU isn't going to do it a lot for you. Alright, I'm showing you the half-court trap once again. Getting double teamed, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. Chalmers is with Fournier and Roten. I am Muhammad up top there. I see LeBron wide open, so I run in, think he's going to shoot it, and I jump up for the block so that he can't. It switches, and like I just said in the last segment, switch to the guy that's closest. I switch over here, open for the block. Actually get the foul, but he misses the shot. So when it comes to the half-court trap, I'm about halfway through the first right now, and this is the last time I'm going to show it because I really don't like the half-court trap. And the reason for that is you pretty much have to play as the big man. You have to play as the 4 or the 5, because the smaller guys are going to be the ones trapping. And as a human player, you're not as good at trapping as the CPU is. So I stay with the 4 or the 5. And being at the 4 or the 5 and trying to cover all the open lanes, it's not great because those guys aren't very agile. They're not very fast. So this is probably my least favorite of the 3 I'm going to show you. Next, I'm going to show you the 1-3-1 zone. So here is that 1-3-1 zone, and you can kind of see how the 1-3-1 zone is set up. At the top of the key is Tony Roten. You can see him right there. He's the 1 in the 1-3-1. The next group of guys you see basically at the top of the paint is the 3 in the 1-3-1. And then finally Ronnie Turioff, you see him back there as that last 1 in 1-3-1. So looking at this setup, you can probably guess what the 1-3-1 is meant to do. It's basically meant to lock down the paint, lock down teams that are meant to drive. So the Heat starting lineup with LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh. You don't have a lot of guys that are great at the three-point shot. They're more so paint players. They like to drive to the rim. So this is great against teams that like to drive to the rim. Now, against the lineup that the Heat have right now, it's not that great to have this setup against them, because if you can see, you have Battier, who's a good three-point shooter. Ray Allen on the left side is a good three-point shooter, and James is pretty good as well. So right now I am playing in man-to-man because Ray Allen and Battier are out there, and they're good three-point shooters. We don't want to leave them open in the 1-3-1 zone. I am playing on the man covering Ray Allen, and I choose to play on him. There I just switch to him, and I move him close to Ray Allen, because what happens a lot is the opponent, the CPU, will drive and they'll kick to that wide open player, and I don't want that to happen. So I'm staying on Ray Allen, keeping him close, keeping him close, keeping him close. I switched to, right there I just switched to Garcia because he was starting to collapse and I wanted to keep him close to Battier. Then I probably switch right around here back to Hamilton. So basically I switch between these two guys to stay on those three-point shooters. And I trust my guys inside to stop anybody trying to drive to the lane. Because when you have a lineup like this out for the opponent, their strength is the outside shot. So you want that to be your focus. So right now I'm still playing man-to-man because they still have those three-point shooters out there, but now my team is actually giving some respect to those three-point shooters. Garcia is decently close on Battier, and Hamilton's close on Ray Allen. So if your team is not playing like idiots and they're giving the three-point shooters respect, then you should be playing as your center. And that's what I'm doing right here. I'm basically defending the paint, making sure that if they drive, it is contested. So Wade is going in for the layup, and I get in there and I get the block. I get another user block because I trust myself to block a lot more than the computer. So here I'm playing the 1-3-1 zone, and when I play the 1-3-1 zone, I play as the point guard and I basically roam to the uncovered guys. So Chalmers has the ball. I see him, my guys are helping out, and I pull back so that I can cover both LeBron and Wade at the same time. LeBron gets the ball. My guys Garcia looks like he's come to help out, so I adjust and I cover Chalmers and Bosh a little bit. LeBron drives and everybody collapses. This is the thing with the 1-3-1 zone. They collapse when people get into the lane to stop them. So I basically make the calculated move. People are going to be able to get to Wade, but it'll be harder to get to Chalmers and Bosh over there. So I cover basically those two guys and wait it out. Move along with Chalmers. Shot clock's going down, and I contest his shot. So with a 1-3-1 zone, you're basically the roamer, and you are that safety valve for when either the rest of your team collapses when the opponent drives. I'm playing the point guard again, and we'll just follow me around so you can see how I cover. Most of the team is on the opposite side of the floor. You see three people up there near LeBron, so that means I have to cover over here. So I'm basically covering Chalmers and Wade. Goes across court pass to Haslam, but I didn't really have to worry about him because he's not a great outside shooter. So I cover Chalmers, cover that pass. My guys come to help. As you can see, I have four people over there, so now I decide to get over and try to get to Dwayne Wade before they can pass it to him. It goes inside. I see Chalmers over there. Come try to help. See that help's already there. So now I am with LeBron and Dwayne Wade. So I am covering these two guys up here where there's not a lot of help because the rest of my team is trying to make sure they can't drive. So Chalmers tries to drive. And the great thing about the 1-3-1 is if you're against a driving team and they try to drive against you, they can often make bad passes, because there are three people around to try to swat it and stop it. And as you can see right there, Ross stops that pass and forces the turnover. Alright, another thing with man-to-man if one player, they're running plays for him and he's really lighting me up, I will switch to guard him off ball so that he doesn't get any wide open shots from a quick pass. So right now, Ray Allen has been beating me right now. He's basically beating my team. So what I decided to do is I'm playing off ball on Ray Allen so he doesn't get a wide open shot. So basically challenging Ray Allen to take that deep three. He doesn't. Just waiting for him. Passes it into Dwayne Wade. And here again, I'm talking about the blocking. So I'm still on Hamilton, still choosing him. And then I see right there, as soon as I see him turning to the basket to shoot, I immediately switch to Ross. And I was able to get the block on that shot. So the game is over. I got the victory. And just looking at my player stats, you see Marco Bellinelli played really well because I played the drive and kick game with him. And if we look at some of our defensive stats, rebounds, great rebounds throughout. Assists, Tony Roten, 13 assists, pretty darn good. Steals, had 5 steals in there, and look at those blocks. So we look overall, we see that I won 70-70, had 9 blocks and 5 steals, which was pretty good. Now in the first quarter, I was using the method of half-court trap. I was able to get 3 blocks during that. Didn't really have a lot to do with that half-court trap, but I didn't really like it that much. I couldn't get into a good rhythm on offense. Coming off of defense, shot 44%, not very great from 3. Second quarter, basically, I was trying to recover from that rhythm drop while playing that half-court trap. And then in the third quarter, that's when I started to recover, started using the 1-3-1 zone, started to use the man-to-man when they had the three-point shooters in, and I got some good steals and some good blocks out of that. But I still couldn't shoot that well until the fourth quarter, where I really, you look at those field goal percentage, I still didn't shoot great. But I basically got myself into more of a rhythm and started shutting them down a lot more. And that's the big thing with using that 1-3-1 zone in man. If you're playing it well, you're really going to shut them down. So if you're not having that great of a shooting night, you can still win. As you can see up there in the fourth quarter, I outscored them by 10. And that was because of playing really good defense, not because of my shooting percentage, which was only 42%. So overall, not a great shooting game for me, but because I played good defense, I got those blocks, steals, forced 7 turnovers, got 13 points off of those turnovers. So if we look at the overall stats, I did not shoot very well, but because I played good defense, I was able to overcome that and come out with the win, come out with the victory. And it's pretty much a guarantee right now, but I'll show you anyways. We'll quit and we'll go receive our 3 stars, 7,200 points. We get our 3-star pack. And why not? How about I show you what I get from this Heat 3-star pack. So just to recap, you have several options for playing defense. The first is to foul every time the opponent comes down the floor, but I don't like to do that. It's bad for your offensive rhythm if you can't get a lot going in transition, and it's good for their rhythm. So I don't like to do that. I like to go for the win. So one option was to do the half-court trap. In the half-court trap, you basically play as the center, and you let your CPU teammates trap the opponent. The second option was to do the 1-3-1 zone, and you use this against a team that cannot shoot the ball well because you don't want to give up those open corner jumpers. And you play as the point guard and you roam around to cover the open men. Your third option is the man-to-man, and that is when you are playing against a good 3-point shooting team because you don't want to leave those 3-point shooters wide open. And again, what I do is I switch between 1-3-1 and man-to-man, and I basically change depending on who is on the floor for the opposing team. Now, I also spoke about blocking, where you want to have fast reaction time when the opponent is going up for a shot so that you can get those blocks. Remember, in my game summary I had 9 blocks, and this was because of doing that. I think the CPU had 2 blocks and I had the other 7. So let's look at this 3-star pack here. Now I'm hoping for LeBron, and I get a Mario Chalmers dupe. I hope you learned a lot about defense for domination mode. If you have any questions, leave some comments. Please hit that like button and subscribe, and let me know if there's anything else you'd like me to go over. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.